Hello, baby.
Hello, nasty.
Hello there. Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends.
Hello, operator.
The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Hey, welcome to the annual episode of The Brink of Sanity. This is episode 187. With me is Bry, who was last on about a year and a half ago, which was...
the last show?
Yeah, probably pretty much the last episode. So glad you're back, because we got I haven't talked... I don't think I've talked to you in real life since the last episode.
Probably not, no.
No, we don't... I don't know. We spent 24 hours a day together for like 6 years and then just never talked again.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I was in Boston last week.
Oh, what were you doing there?
Just went up with somebody who hadn't been to Boston in a while, and of course it was 40 degrees and torrential rain. So that's always a nice day in Boston.
It's a typical Boston weather.
Yeah. So we did take a little tour around Old Northeastern.
Yeah, that was our alma mater.
Yeah, for old time's sake.
And now it's like 3 times the size, right?
Yeah, things sure have changed.
I love how they repeatedly, probably every 6 weeks or so, ask me for money. And I'm like, I'm still paying my undergrad.
Yeah.
I'm like 35 and still paying off undergrad loans. So stop asking me for money.
Yeah. I had the worst 4 years of my life there dealing with all the administrative offices, and now I want to give them more money. I don't think so.
Yeah. How about go fuck yourself?
Some things are still the same. Some things are a little different. There's a Five Guys there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we were when we went there, we were stuck with Burger King and nothing else.
Yeah, the Burger King that Anthony used to work at is now a Panera.
So they're trying to make everything even more expensive for college.
That old video store on the corner is a grocery store.
When we went to undergrad, there were things called video stores.
Yeah, VHS tapes.
Yes, I would cash my paycheck and buy a VHS tape on my way home.
Or rent one.
Yeah, I usually bought one and then stopped in the arcade because there was also arcades.
Yeah, the arcade's gone.
This is the history lesson portion of the show.
It's a tanning salon now, I think.
Of course it is.
The old food court and the student center is all... Actually, I think it's a Taco Bell, which would be good for you.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I would have been like 400 pounds.
And there's a, not KFC, but what's that other...
Popeyes?
Black people chicken place? Yeah, I think Popeyes. I think so. Hello?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh.
So anyway, we do have an agenda for this episode.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So we do like each other's Facebook statuses once in a while. Mm-hmm. That's about the extent of our interactions. And you mentioned...
I'll let you in on a little secret. About 50% of the times when I post a Facebook status, I say to myself, I hope Jay's going to like this or comment on it.
I like an abnormal proportion of your statuses compared to pretty much everyone else I'm friends with.
Because you're like one of the few people I know who understands my sense of humor and cynicism and understands when I'm like being sarcastic or like, trying to make a point.
Yeah. Speaking of cynicism, you mentioned you had a list of 4 things that are leading to the downfall of society.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So we're going to talk about them, but I want to try and guess them first.
Okay. I've referenced them on the show previously, I think.
Have you?
I think like when we first started, I think I went on a rant about it, but go for it.
Oh, so this list has been going on for a long time.
It's a pretty old list. The stuff is still
relevant,
and
still contributing.
Maybe when I said one thing at the time, it's morphed into something else, but it's similar. You'll see.
Okay.
As we go.
Well, the first one I know because I was talking about how people basically feel free to inconvenience anyone and everyone in their path to finish a goddamn text. Mm-hmm. So I know cell phones is number 1 on your list.
Right.
And
at the time it was cell phones. Now technically it's smartphones, but
yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much the texting, right?
Yeah, it's everything. And you'll see when we finally glue this all together, all four sort of correlate with each other to they go together to make the big thing that's going to cause society to downfall.
Yeah, so I notice people don't even interact anymore. Like, I'll call somebody and then they'll not answer, but then text me back, or I'm out with somebody and like they just don't look up for the. I was at a lounge last week, and the two people who I came with on the couch across from me did not look up from their phone once the entire time.
Yep.
So that was fun. I'm glad they came. That really contributed to the evening.
Yeah.
And do you go out anymore? Does this happen to you, or do you just not go out?
I go out a little bit. I mean, I don't, I go out to eat mostly because I'm a big fat pig now, but I don't really go out to like bars or anything. But I remember about a month or so ago, I was out with my dad. We went to a Chinese restaurant, and this group sat down next to us. It was like two like moms, and then there were like 4 or 5 middle to high school age girls. And they all sat down. They all had sweatpants on.
Of course.
Whatever. Go figure. It was a Friday night. Mm-hmm. And they all sat down, and they all got their phones on. They're all staring there, and and like the mothers are like talking to them, and they're just like not even listening. And I was like, it's like, Dad, this is where we're headed. And he's just like, ugh.
We talked briefly before the show started, and I told you I was going back to school.
Yeah.
I thought, like, I would never think to do this because I just think it's rude and insulting to the professor. Mm. Everyone sits down and puts their phone on the desk right in front of them.
Right.
Just so, like, I guess they don't miss a text and they can't wait the 1 hour that the class is to respond. And some people screw around on their phone the entire class and then just get up and leave. I don't know. I feel like if you can't go an hour, that might be a problem.
I went out yesterday to run errands, and I left my phone at home. And, like, for the first minute, I was like, oh, shit, I forgot my phone. And then I was like, fuck it, who cares?
Isn't it liberating?
Yeah, it's like, I'm not going to miss anything. I got home. I had emails, but I get the emails on my computer. Nobody called. Nobody texted. It was like, whatever.
You know what? If you get an email, you can respond like a couple hours later.
Here's the thing that used to piss me off all the time. Like, this is before smartphones. This was like during like regular flip phones. Mm-hmm. Okay. You get your cell phone. You get your minutes. You get all that shit. Mm-hmm. The first thing you do when you get your cell phone, what do? You set up your voicemail. Hey, it's Brian. I can't get to my phone. Leave me a message. I'll call you back.
Yeah.
It's pretty handy, right?
It sure is, yeah.
So, you do that, only you say it's Jay, not Brian. Everybody does that, whatever. Mm-hmm. So people get their phones, so you're out somewhere with somebody, or, you're at a comedy show, or you're at a movie or whatever, and somebody's phone rings, and they answer it, and they say, I can't talk, I'll call you later. Yeah. You have voicemail that does that for you.
Exactly.
You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to piss the whole room off by doing that. You could have just let the thing do its job.
The other thing I find amazing is when people's phones start ringing in the middle of a movie or in class. Like, you haven't figured out to turn the ringer off after all these years of cell phones?
Yeah.
There's a vibrate option. It works.
Yeah. Unless you're like me, where your phone never rings, so you don't bother. And then, the one time it will ring in public.
I get a call probably twice a week, and it's only if I leave my phone in the living room to go take a shit. It's like 100% guaranteed that I will get a phone call at that instant, and that's pretty much it. Yeah,
that's usually about it.
All right, so number 2, I don't remember this list. We have been doing the show for like 6 years, so
yep.
And I think I also deleted episodes 1 and 2 because they were the worst.
Till this one.
Until this one. I'm gonna say reality TV.
Ding 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 ding.
All right, I think that one was pretty obvious. I think I might have trouble after this one, but do you want to elaborate on that?
I'll let you take another. What, reality TV?
Yeah.
Not yet. It goes hand in hand with number 3. So when you get that one, then we'll talk about them both.
Okay. Is that music? Like how people actually listen to dubstep and... No. Okay.
No, sorry. I know that's one of your big things. I don't even know what that is, so...
YouTube dubstep when we're done with the show, and then I'll wait for your angry...
I've heard of it. I've heard of it. I've heard you rant about it enough to know I'm not going to like it, but it's not not one of the big factors.
It's something you have to experience for yourself because I can't put into words how terrible it is. And I can't put into words how confused I am that people actually enjoy it because it's more just random sounds than an actual. I feel like music has to have like a melody or a flow or something other than just random sounds. I don't know. Okay, so it goes hand in hand with reality TV. Is it, does it have to do with the movie industry?
No, not really, no.
What about Twitter?
Yes. That wasn't the one that's not the one that goes hand in hand with reality TV, but Twitter, originally it was Facebook, but now it's sort of morphed into social network. So if you encompass Facebook, Twitter, and whatever else is out there, that counts as one.
Okay. So like whatever Pinterest is or...
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Snapchat or any of that shit.
Someone tried to explain Pinterest to me. Isn't it like you go to like the website and there's a bunch of pictures and you could like the random pictures?
Yeah, you're supposed to like what you like or something. Like I guess. I don't...
It's a picture of a carrot. I like carrots. Click.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, well, that seems like a waste of time.
So you got 3 out of 4 so far.
Really drawing
The fourth one is it's very broad. You're not going to probably guess it right away, but it's a phenomenon. I'll give you one more guess and I'll tell you what it is.
Okay, because I was going towards something about stupidity.
Yep. Yeah. There's parts of that.
Because I was any article I see, they're just insane, stupid comments below it, and the fact that people believe some of this stuff is just mind-boggling. What about lack of knowledge about anything relevant? No, because like people know everything about like what Kim Kardashian wore yesterday.
Yeah.
But people probably don't even know that there's stuff going on in the Ukraine right now.
Right. Yeah, that's not really.
No. Okay. Why don't you tell me? I give up.
Number 4 is YouTube.
YouTube, really?
Yes, YouTube.
Okay. That I want to hear an explanation for.
Well, it's YouTube in the sense of. Okay, let's see how I can start this. The 4 all tie together. You want me to explain YouTube or how they all tie together?
Why don't we go one by one and then how they all tie together?
Okay. Well, YouTube is on par with reality TV because there's just millions and millions of people right now, as I'm saying this, who are trying to do something to get on YouTube, to get hits on YouTube. They're either hitting themselves in the nuts, or they're jumping off a bridge, or they're skateboarding, or they're making music, or they're, doing comedy or whatever. Mm-hmm. And 99% of it is useless, annoying, self-grandizing stuff, which is also, ironically, what reality TV is. So basically, people are using their cell phones to disconnect from everybody. And they're using social network, YouTube, and reality TV to try to everybody give themselves their 15 minutes of fame when it's all useless.
Yeah, I'm actually taking a behavioral management class, and I learned that 96% of everyone feels that they have a better sense of humor than everyone else.
Right. And I would say, like when we were 20, like 80% of the things that we did was to try to get laid. Now I would say 80% of the things that people do is to try to get on YouTube or on The Soup or, whatever.
Right. Like the guys who just bashed gallons of milk on the floor.
Right, yeah.
Which people apparently found hilarious.
Because everybody wants to be famous. We've created a world where you could be nothing and nobody, and somehow you're famous, and so everybody wants to be famous. Everybody thinks that what they have to say is important. Everyone thinks that they're funny. Everyone thinks they have talent. I mean, America's Got Talent, all this shit. It's just all leading up to everybody, this whole generation of people who just think that they're important and they're not. None of us are.
Right. Everyone thinks that they deserve that spotlight, regardless of complete and absolute lack of talent.
And the thing that's the funniest to me that I find is the irony of all this is that, like right now, as we're saying this, there's millions and millions of people all over the world who are sitting there and they're trying to be famous. They're thinking, what can we do to be famous? We could do something funny. We could come up, we could be the next, come up with the next Seinfeld, or we could be the next Beatles and all this shit. Everybody wants to be famous. And you know what the easiest way to become famous in this world is?
What is that?
To die. If you die in a weird way, you're famous. Everybody knows your name. Everybody knows, these stupid kids that died at Sandy Hook, or, somebody who died at Fort Hood, or, somebody who, fell off a building and, hey, so-and-so that fell off a building and landed on a bird's nest. Everybody knows that guy. But nobody knows the idiot on YouTube who's, playing a guitar backwards.
So maybe they should combine them all. Film yourself from your cell phone, smashing a gallon of milk on the floor while slipping for real and twisting your neck and breaking your neck and dying.
Yeah.
Super famous.
But you don't get to enjoy the fame because you're dead. But that's the easiest way to die. The easiest way to get fame is to die.
Does anybody really enjoy the fame, though? I mean, I'm sure some people do, but there's videos with like 5 million hits, but like that's really all it is. You got 5 million hits and then life goes on, right?
I guess.
I mean,
now they're trying to do something to get 10 million hits.
Yeah, but is there like going to be a world tour for the guy who smashed milk on the floor?
He's going to want to get a show on TBS.
But he's not.
Well, TBS gives shows to just about anybody, but that's that's a topic for another show.
Yeah. No, I tend to agree with your theory. YouTube started off as something that could have been really good.
Right, it could have been. And I mean, there is a lot more educational and researchable stuff that's on there now, but like most of it's just nonsense.
There is a lot of good stuff. You just have to sort through the crap.
Yeah. I mean, people go to concerts and they videotape them with their phone on a 4x4 screen where if you tilt your head slightly to the right, you could see it in full 180-degree IMAX because it's in front of you. It's real life.
I love that.
They tape it on their phone and then run home and they put it up on YouTube and then they watch it. It's like, hey, dickhead, you were there.
And you know what? Nobody else likes your video. The sound sounds like shit through a cell phone. It's all fuzzy. Nobody can see shit.
You're talking to your friend and you're saying stupid things.
I could hear you saying woo the entire time.
Yeah.
So you ruin the concert for yourself and nobody likes you because of it.
Yeah.
And the person behind...
You're hiding it under a jacket because security's coming and... Yeah.
Yeah, every time I'm at a concert, that's pretty much... There's dozens of people that do that now.
Yeah.
I've had people try and show me the thing, and I'm like, what is this? It's like, I don't know, just shaky, distorted jumble.
You want to get the phone out, snap a picture of your view, you're there or whatever, that's fine. Put the fucking thing down and enjoy the music. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to go to the concert, stand there, and then what, come home, put it on YouTube, and then dance to it? I mean, is that what you're going to do?
Or just keep hitting refresh to see how many hits you get.
Yeah.
And watch the money roll in.
I mean, I'm embarrassed to dance or anything at a concert. Maybe I'll start doing that. I'll just come home and put it on the big TV and be like, yeah, I'm at the concert. I'm dancing.
I have some videos with tens of thousands of hits. You know how much money I got from that?
I don't know.
0. I don't think you really get like a couple bucks if you get like millions of hits, but it's like
I didn't even know you made money.
You can. All those videos where there like an ad pops up or you have to wait 6 seconds for the video to start. Those people are getting paid, but it's like a tenth of a penny per view or maybe even less.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. So I think I did that for one of my videos that has like 50,000 hits, and I haven't even gotten enough to get $1 yet. So, yeah. All right. So that is the four-step plan for the downfall of society.
Yep.
I would throw in cars because, maybe that goes hand in hand with your cell phone thing because everyone's screwing around on.
Oh yeah.
And not paying attention to where they're going, or just honking at everything that moves.
Mm-hmm.
Which
a lot of that.
I think if you hold your horn for more than 2 full seconds, you're just a terrible person.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw, because I live in the city, so there's a lot of bikers, and I've seen multiple bikers get hit by cars who were just decided like, I want to go left, I'll turn now, and just plow into pedestrians and bikers and stuff.
Well, that's the other thing in Boston now. All the streets have like a bike lane on the right,
mm-hmm.
and like on Huntington where we lived, so there's like the train in the middle, a thing for parked cars, then a bike lane. There's barely even enough room for a car to get by.
What? That's like a lot of obstacles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's people I think are getting worse at driving, and those obstacles aren't going to help.
No, I don't think so.
So
somebody tried to argue with me that, younger people are going to be better at handling that because they're used to doing a million things at once, but
no, I think they're completely unaware of their surroundings. Because I've had people walk directly into me because they're trying to finish a text, or just stop in the middle of a staircase and finish a text. Like there's no awareness of surroundings.
I was on a plane in the fall. It's coming home from Vegas. These 2 hoochie girls got on. They were like 3 or 4 rows behind me, and they're probably like 25, maybe even less. And when we landed, they got up, and I heard one of them say, and I quote, "I can't believe nobody Facebooked me while we were on the plane."
Oh my God.
I was like, why couldn't you have said that when we were in the air? I would have taken the plane down.
Oh my God. People are just getting terrible.
Meanwhile, she was like next to her best friend.
I went to, like I go to grad school, but right before me, there's undergrads.
Yeah.
And I hear conversations like, who would you rather be, Keisha or Kesha?
I don't even know who either of those are.
Keisha makes auto-tuned dance music, and Kesha bangs a football player and has a reality show. That's where the goals are being set.
Well, that's it.
Yeah. If I could be one of those wonderful, wonderful humans.
Is that the girl, like, she has a $sign in her name or something, one of them?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. That's Keisha.
Okay.
Kesha is, I would say, far more terrible. Because she has done nothing to have a show. Or had a show. I don't know. There's so many shows now. I don't even know. It's getting to the point where I don't know who 90% of the people who even have shows are anymore.
It's almost like you're cooler now if you don't have a show.
Yeah, I think the rule is like every reality show, somebody from that show has to get a spin-off show. It's like a virus.
It really is. It's just like, I don't know, it's just stupid. Better off just putting surveillance cameras on TV. It's like, let's watch people walk by.
Well, I feel like that's what it is half the time. I mean,
it'd be more interesting.
Something might actually happen that's not completely planned.
You may or may not see a guy drop a backpack at a marathon. You probably won't see it because I don't know if it really happened, but
yeah. That's the other thing. People are so quick to like judge anybody who questions like the official story.
Yeah,
which kind of pisses me off. Well, Mark, the normal co-host of the show, thinks I'm a complete crazy loon for questioning the events of 9/11.
Yeah, I know a lot of people who who look at me like I'm crazy for that too.
I don't see why. There's a lot of questions that make no sense. I don't know. I got into an argument on another. This is the thing that I need to stop doing is responding to stupid comments because I end up wasting like an hour and just getting furious, and it doesn't. People aren't going to change their opinions of stuff, and so there was an article about what was it? It was about how they found a new mass grave for World War II, the concentration camps.
Yep.
And there was dozens of comments saying how the Holocaust was a scam and it was just to get the Jewish people more power and like none of that stuff really happened. And like I'm all for a conspiracy theory, but I'm pretty sure the Holocaust happened.
Yeah.
And then somebody started putting some religious crap in there and started arguing with me about how Noah's Ark happened exactly the way they said. And that the Bible's never been disproved. And then they sent me this webpage that explains all the facts of Noah's Ark. Funniest sight I've ever seen. Apparently, I didn't know this, but dinosaurs were also on the Ark.
Oh.
Yeah. And Noah had time to build the Ark because he lived to be 600 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So that cleared it up. I think I'm going to convert now.
Going back to something you said earlier, it always makes me laugh about like comments on, articles and stuff like that. It's amazing how everybody's an expert on everything. Like, something happens and like just some regular Joe is like, oh, that could never possibly happen because blah, 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 blah. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Things that you never knew about. All of a sudden everybody's like this plane, like all of a sudden everybody knows everything about planes. Like, oh, you'd have to, do this. You don't know the first fucking thing about it.
Yeah, or they're just like, well, that clearly didn't happen. And it's like, oh, really? You have inside information that,
And the news is like, oh, we have a report today that the plane definitely took a left. How do you don't know anything about the plane, but you're sure that it took a left. You don't know the first fucking thing about any of it that happened, but you're sure that it happened,
You want to move on to some lighter topics?
Oh, sure.
All right.
The Holocaust too heavy for tonight?
Let's see, we've covered mass murders, Holocaust, downfall of society. I want to talk about your dating story.
Tread lightly.
Okay.
I don't think she'll ever listen to it, but who knows?
Okay. Well, if you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to.
What do you want to know?
Well, I just want to continue what you were telling me from before.
Oh, we were talking about just secret relationships or whatever, and sort of been seeing somebody for like 3 years now, and it's never gone public.
And so you're saying it doesn't... Well, she was celebrating an anniversary.
Yeah, an anniversary, a mystery anniversary.
Of when you met.
Right. Because, I never, said, do you want to go out with me?
Yeah, but it's not when you meet.
You want to go steady?
You don't have to ask that officially, but you don't celebrate from when you met somebody.
No, I know.
It's when you first bang.
Right.
If there was never an official, you want to be my girlfriend?
Yeah.
Then you start celebrating the anniversary from when you first banged.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. I think I'm right.
Fair. That's fair, yeah.
Or at least did stuff.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
The first time you held hands. Okay, you seem like you don't really want to get in depth in that one.
Well, maybe once I get rolling, we'll go back to it. But what else you got?
We got news stories.
All right, what's going on in this shitty world?
They're making a new Ninja Turtles movie, and
I think I knew that.
And since any Michael Bay movie cannot be sans Megan Fox, she's in it. But April O'Neil is not going to have red hair because apparently it's in Megan Fox's contract that she can't alter her look for any movie.
Oh.
And that includes facial expressions. She has to have her mouth slightly open in her dove face for the entire movie, apparently.
And with her finger on her lip with her hair blowing back?
Yes. There's it's windy on the set at all times when Megan Fox is in the movie.
There are so many useless people in Hollywood that like just keep getting work and people care. Like, what has Megan Fox ever done? Yeah, she's good looking, but so what?
Apparently, that's the extent of it. Apparently, people are that superficial where if she's hot, they are a fan, despite complete lack of talent.
And that and the fact that they remake every fucking movie except any good movie they won't remake. They should start remaking the remakes. Like, they should remake the remake of Total Recall. Because that was terrible.
I'm not seeing any of these remakes. I didn't see Red Dawn because it was perfect the first time. I didn't see the remake of RoboCop because that was perfect the first time.
Definitely.
And if the rumors are true and they remake Beetlejuice, I will not be watching that.
If they're going to remake movies, they should remake them with the same cast and just be like, yeah, this is, Airplane now.
Do it better.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, remake movies that needed improvement instead of like really good movies, or something where like the technology has changed to the point where you can make it look better. But I feel like a lot of movies that used like prosthetics, like in horror movies, like in RoboCop, the original one, the guy's hand gets shot with a shotgun and explodes, and it looked awesome because they actually used, actual material, and now they'll just computer animate it and it looks like a cartoon. And that doesn't look better to me.
No.
I don't get the whole... I know it's cheaper. Yeah, good. You got a computer programmer that could just put it in. But it doesn't look good.
No.
And that doesn't... I don't think that constitutes an improvement.
Mm-mm. You know what? In all seriousness, this is what they should do. They should take a movie that works and just redo it. Like, they should just keep making The Hangover, but with different 4 people.
That's not a bad idea. Instead of just having it...
Instead of making shittier sequels to The Hangover, they should just take the exact same script and take 4 different people. Or like the A-Team. Did you see the A-Team movie?
No, I didn't.
It actually wasn't... It was like an hour and a half too long, but it actually wasn't terrible. Mm-hmm. But it would be funny to do that and then just take 4 different people and do that.
Well, I believe the Mission Impossible show picked a team at the beginning of each episode. So, I mean, technically they could do a Mission Impossible movies and not have Tom Cruise in every single one.
Or, like, they can make Very Bad Things, again, like, with different people, and just keep doing that.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad idea. I mean, you don't have to have the same things happen when, like, if you do a Hangover and they black out, but you can just have 4 people black out and have different funny things happen.
Yeah.
Although I believe that's what The Hangover 2 tried to do.
I didn't see the second one. I saw the third one, but I didn't see the second one.
The second one, you could watch the beginning when they wake up, and then the credits part where they show the snapshots.
Yeah.
And that's it. The rest of the movie is kind of just like a caper. Like, let's find out what we did. And it's not really funny at all.
Yeah, I figured as much. It didn't look very good.
There's, I guess... The monkey's funny, but you could put a monkey in any movie and it's entertaining.
Yeah. If you have to resort to cheap gags like that, I mean...
Yeah, isn't that usually what you do in, like, season 11 of a show that refuses to get canceled? You add a monkey.
Speaking of season 11 of favorite shows, I can't believe you had the time to research all the shows that went to season 8 that had terrible season 8s. I've been meaning to tell you this for months now.
I made a post of what was the worst season 8. Actually,
half of those shows I didn't even know made it to season 8. And then you took the time to like freaking research it and see what was the best. I was like, holy shit, you're really upset about this.
I just thought I actually didn't even like research like bad season 8s. I just thought of shows that completely jumped the shark, and then looked to see if there was a season 8. What show was I mad about season 8? Oh, Psych. Season 8 of Psych was terrible.
I didn't even know Psych made it to season 2, let alone season 8. I don't even know what channel that's on.
I don't know, USA maybe?
Oh.
I don't know, with DVR now, I don't know what channel any show is on. I just type in the name of a show and then it appears at some point. So, yeah, what was my... Dexter
Dexter was awful.
How I Met Your Mother, The Office, and then I threw in some older ones like Family Matters and Married with
I couldn't
Children.
even tell you, like, was season 8 of The Office the last season of The Office, or
I believe it, maybe.
or was it the bad season with the dude from the Blacklist? I mean,
It was
who knows?
definitely with the dude from the Blacklist. I don't know if it was the last or the second to last season.
Yeah.
But the show sucked for a season or two before that guy even took over. So, and then Married to Children, I don't remember what happened in season 8, but I know by season 6, Al Bundy got into a VIP lounge with famous musicians by pretending he could play a sandwich
Yeah.
as a musical instrument. And
Yeah, that was a rough one.
so I figured 2 years after that, the show could not have gotten any better.
But yeah, most of those shows go downhill after.
I think so, 5 or 6. No show should really go on longer than that.
Dexter ended when Rita died. That's what I always say. That was the series finale of Dexter for me.
I liked the Edward James Olmos season.
Ugh, it was so predictable.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of enjoyed it. Yeah, other than that, though, that was pretty much it. And Californication, when he drove off into the sunset, which would have been a perfect ending.
Californication died after the second season. The first season of that show was brilliant. The second season of that show was pretty good, and then it just went. Then it was just, how many people could we have Hank bang in a week?
Yeah,
Everybody wants to bang Hank. Everybody wants to bang Hank.
because he's
That's what
55, and that's what happens.
That's what the show turned into, and thank God it's the last season, so I can. All these shows I keep watching because it's like I put enough time in. Now I just got to see how it ends, like How I Met Your Mother or The Office, or Californication starts up next week.
No, like 3 years ago, I decided that I'm wasting too much time, and I started quitting shows left and right, and it's so much more enjoyable.
I just stuck around, and
Because when the shows get bad for that long, like nothing's making the last episode. Like there's no reason that the last episode's going to be good. Like all these shows you've stuck out. Has any of those finales been any good?
I don't even remember how The Office ended. Now that I think about it,
So that must have been awesome.
How I Met Your Mother was stupid. It could have been good, but it was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Dexter was awful. Californication hasn't ended yet. I don't remember what else.
That will end, right? This season?
Yeah, this is the last season, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to watch. I think I made it to last season, but I'm not going to watch this one.
Oh, it's stupid with that rock star on the airplane. And
Was that last season?
Yeah, so
okay.
fucking annoying.
Yeah, so I watched that, and it was really bad.
The first season of that was brilliant, and the second season was almost just as good. And then they killed off what's his name, and they shouldn't have. The record guy.
Oh, yeah, the guy who was in...
Lou Ashby.
Yeah, he was one of the best. He was in Battlestar Galactica, too, and he was awesome in that.
Do you watch Justified?
No, that is on my list.
You got to watch Justified.
Because I know you mentioned that's one of the few good shows on TV right now.
It's one of the best. It really is one of the best shows. It's well written, and this is season 1, 2, 3. I think this is season 6, and next season's going to be the last one. It's either 5 or 6, but next season they're ending it, so they're going out on a high note.
Good. It's very rare for a show to do that.
Yeah. It's really complicated. Like, I started watching it in the middle of the 4th season.
Mm-hmm.
I watched like 10 minutes of the premiere, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. So I had to go back. There's so many characters, and like they just appear randomly at times. So you have to go back and watch from the beginning, but it's really good.
Do you watch The Walking Dead?
No.
Okay.
No.
I don't think any show wastes more time than that show. It's really just like a lot of just walking and...
Entourage. I stuck around for Entourage. That was the worst fucking show.
Oh, I stuck around for that too.
That show was like a cartoon. It literally had no character development for however long that show was on. They're the exact same at the end as they were at the beginning.
Yeah, except for the one season where Vince tries to prove he's a tough guy.
Yeah.
And then gets knocked out by Eminem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that show got comically bad after a while.
The problem with that show... the problem with that show is the same problem that happened to The Big Bang Theory, although Entourage was probably better than The Big Bang Theory, is that where they created it as a certain type of show, like Entourage, but the first like season, 2 seasons, like Jeremy Piven just owned that show. It was like the Ari show.
Mm-hmm.
And they tried to get away from that. They tried to steer it back towards the show instead of just letting it organically go. And like, you know, that season where they fired him and he wasn't there, like they're trying to get away from him. And that's what fucked the show up. And the same thing, not that the Big Bang Theory was very good, but like when it started, it was about like the nerdy guy and the hot girl. And then all of a sudden, like everybody started liking Sheldon for some reason. So now every show is about him.
Right. Yeah, there's a fine line where if a peripheral character gets super popular, you have to include him more, but you can't just turn the show into him.
Yeah, I mean, like it was, you know, when that show started, Johnny Galecki was the star, like the lead star, and now it's, you know, the dude who plays Sheldon that's winning Best Lead Actor at the Emmys. Like he wasn't the star of the show when it started.
Right. That's been happening for ever since TV. Like Family Matters was supposed to be about the actual family, and then it was like the Urkel show.
Yeah.
Psych started doing that after a while. There was this one character that was funny in very small doses, and then they tried just having him show up all the time. And
what is Psych? I don't even know what Psych is.
Psych is a guy who's like super, super observant, and he tricks the police department into thinking he's psychic, and he helps them solve murders. But it's a comedy, and the guy's our age, so there's like a ton of 80s references and stuff.
Who's in it? Anybody I would know?
No, there's nobody really famous in it, although once a season, the main guy from Princess Bride shows up, and he's awesome. But who's the guy from Major League? I think he was the catcher.
Tom Berenger?
No, not Tom Berenger.
Corbin Burnson?
Yes.
He was the shortstop, but that's okay.
Okay, yeah, he's the dad in the show.
Oh, okay.
I think everyone else like got famous from the show.
Did you ever watch Deadwood?
No, my other friend is telling me that that's another must-watch show.
And did you ever watch The Shield?
No.
Okay. Because I guess a lot of the people who were on Justified were on those two shows.
Okay. I've heard good things about The Shield. That was another show where it was just...
This guy, Walton Goggins, who plays Boyd, he's like a bad guy, but he's kind of a good guy. Like he's sort of like just more of like an anti-hero than a bad guy. Mm-hmm. I guess he was on The Shield. He did really well on that, but he's like the best character on Justified.
So I saw in an article, I was wondering why people are getting dumber. And then I saw real college courses being offered at universities.
Okay.
These are real college courses. What if Harry Potter is real? There's multiple Lady Gaga classes. Gaga for Gaga, Sex, Gender, and Identity.
Is there a show called Find Lady Gaga's Cock? I mean, a class.
Invented Languages, Klingon and Beyond. Learning from YouTube. This one I would actually take, but I probably wouldn't learn anything. The Science of Superheroes.
Oh, jeez.
Zombies in Popular Media. That's actually being taught at Columbia College. Although Columbia College is probably much different from Columbia University, I would think.
I was just going to say, yeah, isn't it?
This one's called Oh Look, a Chicken.
Oh.
It's a class about embracing distraction. The textual appeal of Tupac Shakur.
I didn't think he had any appeal.
I didn't either. Well, anytime a guy has one hit and then dies, you have to have a class about him. Cyber porn and society.
Ooh, I'd take that.
They survey internet porn sites. So it really is just watching porn all day. If that was a class when we were undergrads, we would still be on the first page because we had dial-ups, and it took about 3 hours to load one 5-minute clip.
Yeah, no kidding. And it wasn't HD.
No, it was grainy, low res. You kids don't know how lucky you have it today.
Yeah. I remember somebody had a great tweet, like, it was like a year ago, maybe 6 months. I forgot who it was. They said, boy, the kids in 100 years are going to have a bitch of a time coming up with internet usernames.
Yeah, everything's gonna be like 9 numbers after it.
Yeah. You know, there's a website, I forgot what it's called. There was an article in the paper about it a couple months ago. There's actually an internet site that you could go to and sign up for. I don't know if you have to pay or not, but when you die, it kills all of your other online accounts.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so like when you die, like it'll deactivate your Facebook and
How does it know you died?
It's connected to something, I think. Or I think you have to have like a person, like a name, like a next of kin or something, and then that person will call up and then they'll do it all for you.
Oh, that's interesting.
Something, yeah. It's funny because I know people who have died and they still have Facebook pages. Like this girl from my high school class died a couple months ago. Like whatever, she was a bitch to me, but apparently, based by the Facebook comments, she was the greatest person that ever lived. People are posting, "Oh, R.I.P. Miss you." Blah, blah. She's not going to read that. She's not going to like that. She's not going to see it. Well, what are you doing? You're wasting your time.
Somebody should log onto her account and start liking those comments.
That would be funny.
That would be a really good prank.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how big of an asshole somebody is. As soon as they die, they're the greatest human being of all time.
Yep.
It's like, you know what? Some people are just assholes.
Unless you're a mass shooter. Then you have,
No, then it's I never saw it coming. He was so quiet.
I've told everybody I work with that if I ever do anything like that, they have to say, I knew it was coming.
Like, Bri was such a dick.
Yeah. He warned us every day he was going to kill us, and he never did.
But then he did. Getting dressed. That is a class.
Well, that should be mandatory with all these people walking around in sweatpants and stuff.
The class description is chart the major moments of your lives through clothes. So basically, if you look at a shirt, can you recall moments from your lives? Shouldn't that be like a 5-minute class?
Yeah.
I don't know if I would...
Are these like online colleges or are they real?
That one is at Princeton.
Yikes.
So, yeah, I think these are...
Just goes to show you those Ivy League schools aren't as, whatever as they think they are.
That just means you pay more for your degree.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these are like, some of them, cyberporn is like State University at Buffalo.
Mm.
But some of these are like real, real colleges.
Crazy. We missed everything by like 3 years.
We did. We came in at that like dead spot of like everything is almost good, but kind of sucks.
Although if we went to college after 9/11, we probably wouldn't have been able to do half the funny stuff that we did.
Oh, yeah, we probably would have been in trouble constantly.
Yeah.
But now there's like, apps for dating and like, I don't know. Everything's just so like hyper easy at this point.
Yeah.
We had nothing really. Really?
No. Nope.
We had to like buy actual nudie magazines.
Yep.
That was great. That wasn't
embarrassing.
That wasn't embarrassing or degrading at all.
No.
That was awesome. And then you got like 8 pictures for like $6. That was really cool. Yeah, there was no the dating sites actually have apps now. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Well, I know. And they have all kinds. They have Data Jew and Black People Meet and Over 50 and
Yeah, I'm a crazy religious nut.com.
Yeah.
So then it automatically weeds out people you don't want.
Yeah. Makes it pretty easy.
Well, although if we had that in college, we'd probably still find a way to screw it up.
Probably, yeah.
In fact, I'm pretty confident we would have found a way to screw that up.
Yeah.
Just
We screwed everything else up.
Yeah, exactly. We just would have screwed it up more often and quicker.
Yeah. We'd have more rejection.
So that is the best of those stupid
Classes.
Yeah. There's a couple Star Trek ones, philosophy and Star Trek. And
They've had Star Trek classes for a while.
yeah, I took Is There Life on Other Planets? And it was just really difficult mathematical formulas. I'm like, well, this really isn't the easy class I was hoping it would be.
You buy a book and the book just says no.
Or it says yes. The next page is like, or yes. We don't know. What do you think of David Letterman retiring?
I didn't even know David Letterman was still on.
Yeah,
I've never been a big Letterman fan.
Neither have I. I am a Craig Ferguson fan, but they're saying he has almost no shot of taking over. It's
funny. Do you watch Louie?
I watched the first season and a half and didn't really like it.
It's it's hit or miss. But he did a whole 3-episode arc about his agent told him Letterman was retiring and they wanted him to get the job, so he was auditioning for it and everything like that, and it's kind of now it's life imitating art.
Yeah. So they're saying Stephen Colbert might get the role now.
Oh, well, he's going to be out of a job soon, right?
Is he?
I don't know. Doesn't everybody want to fire him or whatever?
Oh, yeah, there was that big...
What did he do? I didn't even see it.
He was talking about how people are insensitive to race, and then he made a joke mocking those people, saying something about Chinese people and how, the name of the story was the Ching Chong Wing Wong or something Asian or other or something like that. It was making fun of the people who are insensitive to Asians, and since nobody understands humor or has a sense of humor, it blew up into this huge Colbert should be fired because he's making racist jokes movement.
I just saw that it was everybody wanted him fired, but I didn't see what he actually did.
Yeah, he made a joke, and people don't understand jokes.
Yeah.
Also, even if he made a joke you didn't like, now you want the entire show canceled.
That's the other thing that's wrong with this thing. The world is something happens that affects 2% of the people. Somebody says something that affects 2% of the people or does something, whatever. And then 80% of the people who have no connection, relation, opinion, feeling about that issue, they want the guy fired.
Yeah, it's that's why every comedy on network TV is so ultra safe and kind of just bland, because if they do anything even sort of risque, they get tons of letters, and then they feel like they have to...
It's oh my God, some guy kicked a dog. I have a dog. I want him dead. Just mind your own business and stay out of your fucking, I can't... There was just something that just happened. I can't remember what it was, and it pissed me off so much.
Yeah, the Colbert thing was...
Oh, it was the Roger Sherman, the football thing. All these yahoos who don't know anything about football or anything just saw him practically, scaring the shit out of Aaron Andrews after the football game, and everybody's oh, look at him, he's whatever, and people going nuts, and it was the guy plays a fucking football game. What did you you want to put a dress on and be oh well, the game was very
Yeah, it was probably the greatest moment of his life, and they interviewed him immediately after it,
and it was almost the end of Twitter.
Oh,
when
yeah.
I was on Twitter when that happened. I was holy shit, Twitter's broken.
Yeah, I didn't see it when it happened, and everyone made such a big deal. I went to look at it, and it wasn't that bad.
It was awesome. I wanted to pan back and show Aaron Andrews with a big wet spot in her pants.
Yeah, she asked one question. He started ranting about how excited he was, and then she...
And the best part was that he didn't even swear.
No, he didn't swear at all. But she was so freaked out, she just immediately ended the interview.
Yeah. And there was something else like that happened too. And I just remember it's just everybody's chiming in oh, he's got to get fired. He's got to lose his job. And it's why? What difference does it make?
Or he has to make a public apology, even though it was nothing worth apologizing for.
Yeah. Shit, I can't remember what it was now. I'll think of it.
I don't know. I just know overreacting is also a big part of all this social media stuff. Everyone thinks like they're like leading this cause.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, why do people still do online petitions? Has it ever worked ever?
Oh, I don't think so.
It's like, I'm mad at Richard Sherman. I'm going to go to onlinepetition.com or whatever it is. And
I am so glad you said this, because that's going to lead me into my next rant.
Okay, let's go.
All right. So, what was your original question? Has anything happened from? What did you just say?
Yeah. Has anything ever has a petition ever been made online that actually had an actual result?
Yep. And so I ask you, I counter with, has anyone's prayers ever been answered?
I'm sure they have, but I'm pretty sure that was coincidence.
I mean, if anybody ever listens to this, hit me up and find me and tell me if you've ever actually had a prayer answered. Because I love it. It's like you see on Twitter, my dad just had a heart attack. Oh, thoughts and prayers. Oh, okay. Thoughts and prayers. That's nice. Thanks. You're praying for, let's pray for the people on that airplane. Well, how about we go look for them instead?
Yeah, that's good.
Could you do less thinking and pray? First of all, aren't thinking and praying the same thing?
Yes.
There was a big train wreck and 40 people died. Let's pray for them.
Or
okay.
They're still, those miners are still trapped. Well, I'm going to think really hard about them.
I'm just going to think about all the things that I could be doing to help, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to sit here and...
You know what? I'm going to be an activist, actually. I'm going to start a petition against falling rocks, and I'm going to update my Facebook status saying rocks are shitty. LOL. And then the miners will be saved. Yeah, I see that all the time. Like, people are like, my grandma got diagnosed with cancer. Click like to help save her. Like, okay, but I'm pretty sure clicking like is not going to do much.
There's this funny commercial up here in Connecticut for one of the local hospitals, which is like a shitty hospital. And it's this guy, and he's like, yeah, I was diagnosed with, thyroid cancer. But cancer didn't know I went to Middlesex Hospital. And then they got treated. It's like, yeah, like cancer gives a shit that you went to fucking Middlesex Hospital, like the fifth worst hospital in the state of Connecticut, which only has 6 hospitals. Every time I see it, I just laugh. I'm like, oh, yeah, cancer. You'll show cancer.
Did we have anything else to rant about?
I don't think so. You want to rant about the Knicks? Or is that the next show?
That's the next show. Oh. But, if you have any comments, feel
free. Did Phil Jackson find his office yet?
I think the better question is Phil Jackson trying to pack up and pretend he didn't accept the job yet?
There's a guy I work with who's a huge Knicks fan, and I bust his balls all the time, and I said when he took the job, he was also going to coach the Lakers.
I mean, talk about having 2 terrible options. Like, you coach the Lakers with everybody injured, or the Knicks, who are the Knicks.
And then the other thing I said was, yeah, they're bringing in Phil, but they have Dolan's making him bring in Isaiah Thomas to coach.
Oh God! I found out that the Knicks' stupid owner was literally giving out copies of his band's CD to guys like LeBron James, as if that would
band?
His name is James Dolan, and the band is called JD and the Straight Shot.
Oh.
And they open up for the Eagles. Because when you have money, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I guess so.
So that was his big strategy, to give free copies of the CD. I guarantee they were like homemade copies of the CD that he printed up on his printer too.
Probably CDRs.
Yeah, his CDRs with like a Sharpie, JD and the Straight Shot written on it.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. LeBron's like, yeah, I'll seriously consider that now that you've given me this burned CD.
I will cherish it.
Do I get an Eagle CD too, or no? Okay, just JD and the Straight Shot. Excellent.
If you listen to the whole thing, we'll give you an Eagles of death metal, not the regular Eagles.
Well, that would be awesome. Yeah. So I'm going to do a Nick show in a few minutes, and they are terrible and aggravating.
Yep.
What was I going to say? John Panette just
Yeah,
died.
he died.
Apparently, he is Seinfeld actor John Panette.
Yeah. He didn't have a career before that or after that.
He's a funny guy.
He was. Yeah, he was fat. I'm sure he died of a heart attack.
Yeah, I think he lost like 150 pounds, so he was down to like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sometimes when you do too much all at once, like.
Yeah.
The body can't handle that.
Yeah. Yeah, I read that right before we started. It was like, oh, the death is not suspicious. Well, no shit. He was a fat guy. He died.
Yeah. He was 50 and he was 400 pounds.
Yeah. I don't need a medical examiner to tell me that.
Oh, he also had liver and heart disease.
Uh-huh. From being fat, probably from drinking.
Yeah. He's best known for... I didn't even remember he was in Seinfeld.
Yeah, he was in the last episode. He was the guy that got mugged when they didn't do anything about it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That was a show that lasted more than 6 seasons. That was still good.
Yeah.
All right, so I feel like we're losing energy very quickly.
Well, the John Panette just took it all out of me.
Yeah.
You know, it was a tough one.
So you can email us, thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com, and 8 to 10 months from now when we do another episode, we will read your email. And
when everybody listens to this, it'll be very topical.
yes, it'll be topical, so when you download it, it'll be completely relevant.
Yep.
And yeah, that's great. Anything else you want to add?
Happy 2015. Oh, I don't know.
All right, thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back.
We'll be back soon.
Yeah. NBA season's ending, so we could actually do shows again. So
There you go.
There you go. We'll be back soon. Goodbye, everybody.
All right.
Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye.